we've talked a little bit about the coaching and how that's kind of impacted you. Now, you I know do a lot of coaching on the business side, personal coaching, various different things there. So I'm going to assume that some of your coaching skills in sports have transferred over to your business side. And you've already talked a little bit about how the coaching is impacting the way you're thinking about being a dad. I'm assuming it's doing the same thing as the way you're thinking about business. So I kind of want to connect all of those together, like how it's affected business and how business affects being a dad, and how that whole kind of cycle goes. Obviously, you're 10 months into being a dad, so I'm not it's more what you've done already, yes, but like to your point, like Emerson's not even quite ready to go walking around the house yet. So let alone, some of the major hurdles that are I am sure to come. So, but still, I know how in depth you think, and I'd love to kind of hear how you've kind of processed that and where you're wanting to go and what your goals are as you keep pressing forward in raising Emerson.
Well, there's a couple directions that are
a loaded question.
Yeah, it's a heavy question.
It's a lot involved. Yeah.
It's like part A, part B, part C, part D, optional, part F.
Yep.
Sports and athletics has a tremendous overlap of entrepreneurship. If there was a Venn diagram, like, wow, dude, I'd say 89% of it is completely the same.
That's a very specific number.
I think about this a lot. The overlap began with me running the financial education company while I was coaching soccer, and entrepreneurs looking at my life and saying, I don't understand how this is your world, man. Like I'm in business, but I'm like, I hate my life. I work way too much. I don't have any fun. There's no purpose in it. It's just a chase for money. But at that point, with me all the way in the throes of it, coaching soccer was largely about mindset. Players were failing. Players were not growing. Players were stuck in plateaus. Players were not developing correctly. They had a lot of baggage, and my job was to set them free from that so they could perform at their capacity. So not much has changed. The game that I'm coaching is different. I'm coaching business now. Mm-hmm. The players are very similar, men and women. So learning from that, it's just been interesting because two things are true in the world of coaching entrepreneurs. One, the more I coach, the better I get at coaching. So every time that the next person falls in line and says like, hey, I really want change in my life, I'm better than the last time that I said yes. Yeah. So that's amazing. But the other part is that the journey through coaching in business as a business is that there has to be much more of a tangibility than anything else. So what that's taught me as a parent is that, if I'm building a business where there's a demand on me, there's pressure on me to create tangibility and outcomes for entrepreneurs that are playing at a very high level, then I have to really take care of myself. Mm-hmm. And if I want to model pursuing my dream to my young son, then I have to really care for more than just myself. I have to care for a lot of people. There are a lot of people in my care. And I choose the word client over customer. Client means in care of. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people I'm in their care of. I take care of them. I show up for them in their hardest moment, their most broken moment, and provide an ear, an insight, a wisdom, an opportunity to reframe. And if I'm going to coach you on your mindset, making sure your values are at the forefront of your life, making sure that the person that you're becoming is the person you want to become, and that's the transformation that I can offer people. If I'm going to commit to that, I have to be really good. I have to be really good all the time. I have to be on many, many, many hours of the day. So my stamina has to be good. I have to take care of myself. I have to mind my health, my mental health, my fitness, which is a great model for my kid. Am I perfect? No, far from it. I want him to see my progression. I want him to see my hard work, but also all the things that go into operating at a really high level. The most dramatic change that this has presented is the utility of my time. I was rather carefree with my time before, not to where I'm selfish now, but I could choose things that didn't necessarily need to have tactility or value because I had an abundance of it. And now I'm like, well, okay, I might start my morning routine off, but I want to create a little bit of time in the morning to spend with him. And I want to create some time in the evening to spend with him. And if I need to go back to work in the evening after he goes down, that's fine. But I'm hyper mindful and vigilant about my time now, because there are these windows where even just an hour with him on either side of my day, that's what he needs right now. Just presence in like an hour, half an hour, whatever it is, but I'm there. And what I worry about most in entrepreneurship is that we play the short game, not the long game.
Mm-hmm.
And we forget why we started. So I have to be mindful, because that's the message I'm doling out all the time. So my world now, thankfully, is like a really cool tennis match of making sure that values are the forefront of your living, making sure that you're living the way that you want, your future self is aligned with your current actions. Like that's my day to day. And it's the test that I have with him, is to make sure that I'm living the way that I'm talking about living to everyone else. Sometimes I get it wrong. Sometimes I get it really wrong, but I'm working on that daily and working in it daily. So to me, there's a really cool congruence between who I am in business and who I am as a parent. I want to show him these things that, dude, I'm so excited about where things are going, because now I've got like these tools, these frameworks that help people get clear on where they want to go. What do they want to invest in? What business do they want to launch? What kind of lifestyle do they want to lead? That's what I do for a living. I help people get clear on that. Or I come into the company and help them get clear on the company, the culture, the leaders, the leadership. And to be able to offer that to him in discussion is going to be something I'm so proud of at some point. And I'm proud of that's my life now. It is also pulling out of me an interesting challenge. Where I struggle the most is, where's the gap between living my dream, because that's important to show him, is that his dad will chase his dream. Because at some point he will question that. If I tell him to go chase his dream, he will ask me, are you? And I want to be able to say, like, without any hesitation, like, I have been doing that since I was 27 years old. That is my entire path and mission. And that dream does not just involve the betterment of me and us. It involves the betterment of the many, many, many people that I'm lucky enough to call clients. The other thing that it summons out is this idea of a brand new kind of capitalism that I'm excited for him to come into. He's going to evolve into a world where he likely will never touch cash. He will meet more people online than offline, and he will likely not need the kind of education in order to get the things done that I needed. We're much faster. Everything's advancing so fast. So if that's true, his weaponry in that time period is going to be creativity, service, and authenticity. And those three things can be fostered along the way, but very differently than they ever have been. So I think those three are the chemical makeup of what success is going to look like. And for me to foster that requires me to live into that. So it is brightening up these elements of me in such an awesome way. Can I chase my dream in the service of others and the betterment of my family? And can I live into these elements of creativity, authenticity, and service in everything that I do? And what a world he will adopt. If you can make money doing something that you love, that makes the world better, and that you're really good at, dude, you win. You win. Everything, I've already won. Yeah. And if I can consistently get better, if I can fail through it, I'm excited for who he believes he can become. And that's a big commitment for me, but that is a commitment that I believe is probably the most worthwhile I'll ever make.